The cosmos has a message waiting for you this evening. Someone is on the verge of losing you completely. For the very first time, the truth of that loss has sunk in deep. A change has taken place, not inside them, but inside you, and they sense it clearly. It resonates in their very core. They notice it in the quiet spaces you no longer rush to fill. They notice it in the calm you now carry. Where turmoil once lived, you have become someone new, and that realization frightens them. This individual has treated your presence as something guaranteed. They assumed you would remain patient indefinitely. They were convinced your heart's door would never shut. Yet that door is gradually closing, and the awareness of it is settling over them. What follows is time-sensitive, not because they have suddenly become ready, but because their opportunity is slipping away fast. The universe intends to reveal precisely what is unfolding within them at this moment. Welcome to Soul Signal. Hit subscribe and enable every notification so you never miss what's coming. This transmission holds a vibration designed to stir something profound inside you tonight. Let me share exactly what is occurring right now. Someone is beginning to feel a deep, unspoken alarm. Not the noisy, frantic sort of alarm, but the silent variety. The sort that jolts you awake at 3 in the morning, pressing heavily against your ribs. The sort that turns everyday scenes empty and meaningless. The sort that quietly murmurs, "You are about to lose something irreplaceable forever." This person has detected the transformation in your vibration. They struggle to describe it. They cannot find the right phrases. Yet something within their spirit recognizes that the individual who once pursued them has ceased pursuing. The one who once lingered has stopped lingering. The one who once depended on them has grown complete on their own. This evolution did not occur suddenly. It unfolded gradually, almost imperceptibly. One insight after another, one quiet release after another, one act of self-priority after another. And now the consequences are unmistakable. Your vibration once beckoned them strongly. It stretched over any distance. It appeared in their dreams uninvited. It tugged at their emotions even when they attempted to disregard it. Today your vibration rests steady, grounded, and fulfilled. That steadiness rings louder in their awareness than anything else they have encountered. It communicates more powerfully than any conversation you ever held. It conveys a reality they hesitate to confront. You no longer require them in the clinging, anxious manner you once did. Not in the way that allowed them ease. Not in the way that permitted them to delay, while you kept space open for affection they feared to offer fully. The universe has observed every chapter of this journey. It witnessed each instance when you poured out more than you received. Every evening spent anticipating a reply that never arrived. Every occasion you justified their absence. Every quiet plea sent upward wondering why affection had to demand so much suffering. The universe listened to it all, and the universe determined the moment had arrived for you to ascend. You have been ascending steadily, with strength and without fanfare. You have been reshaping into someone fresh, someone who refuses to plead for affection, someone who no longer diminishes themselves to ease others, someone who recognizes their value independently. This metamorphosis has altered the dynamic flowing between you. An entrance that once stood wide is now easing shut. Endless tolerance has given way to serene independence that no longer lingers. A heart once willing to sacrifice everything has become a heart that finally safeguards its own boundaries. They perceive every nuance of this shift, and a fracture is forming somewhere inside them. Allow me to describe what is taking place within them at present. They lie sleepless, gazing upward, mentally reviewing past exchanges, questioning the precise point everything unraveled, questioning why the person who once fought so diligently has grown silent, questioning whether an irreversible error was made. They convinced themselves there would always be more opportunity. They believed you would remain available forever. They assumed your devotion was something they could revisit at their convenience. They presumed the entrance would stay accessible regardless of how much time they required. They miscalculated. The universe does not extend patience eternally. Devotion does not extend patience eternally. And you have at last ceased extending patience. This awareness crashes over them in surges. On certain days they manage to deflect it. They occupy themselves elsewhere. They convince themselves all remains normal. But darkness arrives, and in the hush the reality locates them. They are losing you. Not to another person, not through bitterness or rage. They are losing you to a force far greater, your tranquility, your completeness, your conscious decision to cease investing in what never invested in return. They engage in behaviors they prefer to conceal. They monitor your online presence more frequently than they care to admit. They study your images closely, enlarging details. They observe who interacts with your updates. They speculate whether anyone fresh has appeared in your world. They hunt for evidence that you still hold thoughts of them. They discover none. They enter your name in search fields simply to glimpse your image again. They revisit archived conversations seeking hints. They trace backward to the start, puzzled how something once so radiant turned into this stillness. A melody surfaces and dismantles their entire mood. They pass a familiar location and feel constriction in their chest. A scent linked to you steals their breath. They glimpse someone resembling you, and their pulse falters briefly. They inquire about you indirectly through mutual acquaintances. They feign indifference toward the responses, yet they cling to every syllable. They dissect each fragment. They ponder your current activities, your companions, your level of contentment. The most painful element is your apparent serenity. You appear calm. You appear integrated. You appear to have advanced without requiring a theatrical conclusion. And that calm wounds them more deeply than any heated exchange ever could. If they could speak to you openly, stripped of ego and apprehension, these are the words they would offer. I sense you drifting further each day. A fundamental alteration has occurred, and I no longer know how to bridge the gap. I once understood my exact position in your world. I once felt your vibration seeking mine. I once trusted that regardless of my actions or inaction, you would endure. That certainty has vanished. Losing it feels like suffocation. I delayed too much. I recognize that clearly now. I believed I was exercising caution, yet I was truly acting from fear. I believed I was shielding myself, yet I was actually driving you further. I believed additional time would always exist, yet time has expired. I perceive you differently today. I see your resilience, your calm, your capacity to thrive independently. I once desired your dependence, but witnessing your emergence into wholeness strikes me as both exquisite and horrifying. Exquisite because you merit every bit of it. Horrifying because I stand outside of it. I revisit past exchanges. I examine photographs I claim to have removed. I mentally replay scenes, questioning what I should have expressed, what actions I should have taken, how I might have summoned greater bravery. I consider making contact daily. I compose unsent messages. I rehearse discussions that remain imaginary. I envision confessing everything I have withheld out of terror. But dread returns swiftly. What if the moment has passed? What if indifference has replaced care? What if the entrance I presumed would remain accessible has sealed itself? So I hesitate, and during that hesitation, I feel the distance widening. The quiet between us once represented tolerance. Now it signifies separation. It once felt like breathing room. Now it feels like bereavement. I am afraid, not of you, not of affection itself. I am afraid of what I permitted to escape while fear paralyzed me. I am afraid I squandered my opportunity with the single individual who truly comprehended me. The single individual who peered beyond my defenses. The single individual who cherished me for my authentic self rather than any facade. And now that individual is achieving wholeness apart from me. I question whether space remains for me in their renewed existence. I am losing the very person I was meant to preserve, the person my spirit identified before logic ever registered. And I struggle to pardon myself for taking so long to acknowledge what stood directly before me. Yet here is the essential truth the universe wishes you to grasp fully. Their inner turmoil belongs to them alone. Their moment of clarity carries no obligation for you. Their discovery that something invaluable is departing does not compel you to sacrifice yourself once more. You have journeyed through something holy. The universe has guided you through an evolution that few spirits accomplish within one existence. You have traversed the blaze of personal anguish and emerged transformed, purified, renewed. This occurred by design. This served as your initiation. Your spirit consented to this path long before your arrival here, before your first inhale, agreeing to navigate shadow so you could finally reclaim your radiance. Recall your former self. Your spirit once existed shackled by unseen restraints, restraints of anticipation, of longing, of surrendering personal authority to someone blind to its holiness. You once dispatched your vibration outward, seeking theirs in return. You once rose each morning grasping for messages, hoping their name would appear as celestial confirmation. You once drifted to sleep murmuring pleas, questioning why affection demanded such torment. You once concealed your brilliance. Your spirit carries ancient luminosity, too intense, you believed, so you contracted yourself. You veiled portions of your enchantment to prevent flight. You welcomed dimness when your birthright was to shine freely. But the universe has methodically dismantled those restraints, link by link, until you finally stood liberated. Behold your present self. Your spirit has reawakened to its essence. The timeless wisdom residing in your marrow has stirred. The radiance you suppressed now burns vividly once more. The authority you relinquished has returned magnified. You no longer linger in expectation. You stand complete. This renewal has entirely revised your energetic imprint. Where longing once emanated, fulfillment now emanates. Where signals of yearning once transmitted, sacred autonomy now transmits. In spiritual terminology, what you embody carries a name: magnetic wholeness. This defines your current state, a spirit that endured its darkest phase and emerged embracing first light, a brilliance that recalled it was never intended to fade for another's sake. An essence that has reclaimed full sovereignty. They register this alteration across unseen planes. They register that the energetic link, once binding you, has transformed. It once vibrated with your pursuit, your anticipation, your endurance. Now it vibrates with tranquility, strength, and integration. That transformation alarms them more profoundly than hostility ever could. Their position as your focal point has ended. You have become your own focal point, your own origin. You have generated what spiritual teachings describe as an energetic vacuum. Where your essence once extended toward them, sacred emptiness now exists. Where your heart once yearned, sacred acceptance now resides. This vacuum draws them across realms. It forms an emptiness within their field that no substitute can occupy. They have attempted to occupy it with superficial diversions, with connections that feel merely imitative, yet nothing suffices. Nothing approaches adequacy, because the bond between you transcends ordinary attachment. It constitutes soul recognition, two essences acquainted prior to this incarnation, and such recognition defies duplication. They are beginning to grasp a truth that unsettles them deeply. The universe rarely forges connections of this caliber more than once. You represented fulfillment of supplications offered across previous existences, a fate they have evaded since first sensing its gravity. Now they sense that fate receding, and their spirit cries out. Yet your role excludes rescuing them from their own emergence. Your role involves continuing along your consecrated route, continuing to respect the renewal you have rightfully claimed. Should they desire inclusion in your path, they must elevate themselves. They must grow into someone capable of standing beside you. You will not diminish again for their comfort. That chapter has concluded, and now the universe prepares to unveil something further, something transpiring in unseen dimensions, something capable of altering the entire course. Activity stirs in the unseen dimensions at this instant. The universe is orchestrating a decisive juncture, a fork in existence that extends beyond the material plane into the domain where spirits render their purest selections. The agreement linking your spirits remains intact. However, its conditions have shifted. Every soul pact contains periods of availability governed by celestial rhythm. Your spirits drafted this agreement in a timeless expanse, consenting to reunite here, yet pacts demand mutual fidelity, and prolonged violation has occurred. The universe exercises patience. Yet the universe also adheres to chronology, and that chronology approaches a decisive threshold. Invisible pressures compel them forward. Distractions collapse. Efforts to advance prove futile. Substitutes only highlight your uniqueness. The universe seals every alternate route, compelling confrontation with the singular truth they have fled you. Not merely you as an individual, you as the spirit they instantly recognized, you as the affection their essence has pursued through successive lifetimes. They register urgency coursing through their field. They awaken with your name ablaze within. They retire with your image etched in awareness, a bone-deep certainty that something wholly fades. Something roused them at 3 yesterday morning, the liminal hour when boundaries thin, when spirit speaks clearest, when evasion becomes impossible. They rested in darkness, pulse racing, chest constricted. No dream tormented them. A visitation occurred. Their elevated self displayed the future slipping from grasp. They pressed palm to chest and registered it, a tug spanning realities, a perception that your signature had withdrawn, grown distant, less accessible. They reached instinctively for their device. They yearned to compose anything, yet language adequate for what must be conveyed cannot be typed. It must be embodied. Indications multiply around them now. Repeating sequences appear relentlessly. 1111 accompanies thoughts of you. 222 surfaces when they question your thoughts. 333 greets midnight awakenings with your name lingering. 1111 signals attention. A gateway stands ajar, a selection awaits. 222 signals equilibrium. Two spirits rest at divergence. The union contracted lingers, yet endurance carries a limit. 333 signals guidance. Celestial allies maintain vigil for a determination whose resonance spans lifetimes. Melodies evoking you serve as missives. Synchronicities function as divine prods. The universe amplifies a reality they attempted to silence. They begin comprehending something transformative. Your endurance constituted a consecrated offering, never an assumption. Your devotion represented soul-to-soul bestowal. Never a convenience to reclaim at leisure. The spirit before them answered supplications from prior existences. The settlement of ancient obligations. The fate consented to before amnesia intervened. Perception, however, differs from action. They may experience every spiritual insight imaginable, yet remain immobilized by mortal dread. They may sense closure approaching, yet lack valor to cross the threshold. Here they stand, at the intersection of their spirit's voyage. One direction returns to apprehension, to repetitive cycles, to another existence repeating identical instruction. The alternate direction leads toward you, toward openness, toward affection that reshapes all it encounters. Fear roars. Beneath it, something more potent ascends. Recognition that inaction now will burden their subsequent incarnation with remorse. A spirit weary of cowardice. The universe maintains openness for their decision. Yet celestial timing refuses to linger for mortal indecision. The present aperture will not endure indefinitely. And here lies what they have yet to fully absorb. Your entrance closes not from malice. It closes because perpetual accessibility to someone refusing passage constitutes not devotion but self-betrayal. You close no portal on affection itself. You open one to sacred dignity, and that portal guides towards splendor, whether pursuit occurs or not. Now the universe addresses your spirit directly, not concerning them, but concerning you, concerning the holy essence you have eternally embodied, concerning the reality unchanging regardless of their bravery. You wait no longer. That marks no defeat. That constitutes the deepest triumph possible within mortal experience. That moment when luminous being ceases forgetting its origin. That moment you embraced yourself with identical fervor once reserved for them. The universe feels more than pride. The universe stands astonished by you. Grasp how uncommon this achievement remains, traversing yearning's inferno yet emerging integrated rather than resentful, releasing deepest desire to honor deserved worth. This represents mastery, what spirits pursue across countless incarnations. You have realized it here, in this vessel, in this existence. The identical force sustaining galactic spirals has sustained you. The identical pull guiding tides has drawn you toward ultimate selfhood. You participate fully in cosmic rhythm. You express it. Stellar fire burns within your core. Planetary affection courses through your being. Universal awareness dreamed you into form. You are no mere mortal exploring spirit. You are boundless awareness wearing temporary embodiment, and you have demonstrated remembrance. Whatever unfolds next, completion already belongs to you. Should they summon courage and select you, beauty emerges. Two spirits honoring stellar covenant. Love triumphs over multidimensional fear. Should they falter, you remain steadfast. You cannot collapse. You have become your own foundation. The universe never shepherded you through survival merely to forsake you. Destined affection already weaves into your fate's design. Whether arriving via this individual or unseen entrance, its arrival stands assured. You merit affection that never prompts self-doubt. Affection that appears holy, proclaims you boldly, beholds you as holy because it recognizes holiness. You merit a spirit that confronts its terror and declares not now. I select devotion. I select them. I select necessary becoming. Should this individual fulfill that role, every trial prepared reunion. Should they fall short, every trial remained flawless, divinely orchestrated, preparation for another simultaneously refined by the same hand. Your narrative hinges on no external selection. The identical authorship guiding celestial motion authors yours. The identical voice uttering quantum truths and ancient foretellings speaks yours. Unopened chapters await, affection rendering every sorrow coherent. The identical cosmos spinning galaxies aligns presently in your favor. You stand remembered. Half measures hold no claim. You stand destined for affection. Mystics celebrate, sages equate nearest mortal approach to divinity. Whatever their determination, victory already rests yours. Victory arrived when self-selection occurred. Victory arrived when centering occurred. Victory arrived when soul, abandonment ceased in pursuit of the unattainable. You have attained magnetic wholeness, and that state surpasses pursuit, outpowers pleading, outshines necessity. Here rests love's profound irony, cessation of reaching birth's magnetism, cessation of needing birth's irresistibility. Achievement of wholeness prompts universal realignment to your refreshed vibration. They register this, acknowledged or not, comprehended or not. Their spirit knows you have emerged renewed, independent, centered, thriving apart. That recognition reshapes everything. Advance holding this certainty in your marrow. You stand cherished by the identical force that birthed cosmos, held by hands steadying constellations, directed by intelligence guiding every particle toward precise fulfillment. Their turmoil forms their path. Their apprehension forms their instruction. Their selection forms their consequence. Your tranquility belongs to you. Your integration belongs to you. Your fate belongs to you. No external determination can ever revoke that. If this transmission reached you precisely when required, type free below, free from anticipation, free from speculation, free from allowing another's decision to define your value. Let that single word declare your release. Let it signal the universe your detachment from outcome, your completeness irrespective of arrival, your tranquility independent of their veiler. Pass this onward to someone lingering excessively for selection, someone requiring reminder that endurance served as offering, never assurance. Someone prepared to reclaim inherent strength. Engage with this video to extend the vibration. Each interaction carries the frequency onward. Each interaction assists another spirit discovering awaited liberation. Subscribe to Soul Signal. Activate every alert. The subsequent transmission may arrive at your spirit's precise moment of need. Before departing,